Example 5, we got 7x plus 8y equals 6, and we got negative 14x minus 16y equals negative 12. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first equation, multiply the whole thing by 2. So that gives us 14x plus 16y equals 6. The second equation is negative 14x minus 16y equals negative, oh my goodness, I made a mistake in that first equation. That was equals 12, and the final one is equals negative 12. So when we add these two together, the negative 14x and the 14x cancel out. The negative 16y and the negative 16y cancel out. The 12 and the negative 12 cancel out. We're left with 0 equals 0, which is true. This is a true statement. There's not a single value of x and y that makes the statement false. So we're going to say there are infinitely many solutions. So infinitely many solutions. They are effectively the same line. So that's when we would see that. Looking at this last example here, we're writing another system of equations just like we did at the end of the last one. We got an airplane flying into a headwind, travels the 2,000 miles from Chicopee, Massachusetts to Salt Lake City, Utah in 4 hours and 24 minutes. On the return flight, the same distance is traveled in 4 hours. Find the true airspeed of the plane, the speed of the wind, and the speed of the wind. Sorry, there should be a word there. True airspeed of the plane and the speed of the wind, assuming that it's constant in both directions. So, using a little bit of physics knowledge, distance equals rate times time. So, some unknowns. We don't know the speed of wind. We're going to assume it's the same in both directions, or regardless of which time we're flying. And so let's just call it W. What we also don't know is the speed of the plane. And we're going to call that P. Now, on the way from Chicopee to from Chicopee to Salt Lake City, it takes 4 hours, and on the way back it takes 4 hours and 24 minutes, and on the way back it takes 4 hours. So, on the way there, we're going against the wind. And if you're going against the wind, you're effectively going to have a slower speed. So it's going to be the speed of the plane minus the wind speed, because they're fighting against each other. And then if we're going with the wind, it's going to be P plus W. It's kind of adding those vectors. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So the system of equations, the first one, we're going 2,000 miles. We're going against the wind. And so we're going to say 2,000 equals our rate is going to be P minus W. And then our time is going to be 4 hours and 24 minutes. So I'm going to say 4 and 24/60ths. Now on the way back, we're going with the wind. So we got 2,000 equals P plus W. And that's just going to be 4 hours. Now, putting these into decimal form, it's going to make things a little bit easier. We're going to have 2,000 equals P minus W times 4 hours and 4 hours and 24 minutes is actually 4.4 hours, which is nice and convenient. We also got 2,000 equals P plus W when we're going with the wind equals 4. Now, to solve for this, effectively, let's just get rid of that 4.4 and that 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first equation. To get rid of that 4.4, so that way we only have P and W, I'm going to divide that whole thing by 4.4. And while we're at it, we're also going to divide the second equation by just that 4. My goodness, I'm having a hard time writing here. Sorry. Is P plus W times 4. My apologies. So the first one, we're going to take the 2,000 divided by 4.4, and it's going to give us 454.5454, so we're just going to round it to 5, equals P minus W. And the second one, 2,000 divided by 4, is going to give us 500, equals P plus W. So now this is set up that way we can just kind of add these two together and it'll cancel out one of our variables. So we got 454.55 plus 500 gives us 954.55. And on the other side, we got p plus p gives us 2p. And we got negative w plus w cancels those out. So we get just 0. Now to solve for the plane speed, we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we're going to end up with a plane speed of about 477.28. And that's going to be miles per hour. Now to figure out what the wind speed is, what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to this simplified equation here. We got 500 equals p plus w. And I'm going to plug in our p-value that we know. So we got 500 equals 477.28 plus w. And we're going to subtract that speed, the plane speed, from both sides. And we're going to end up with a wind speed of about 22.72 miles per hour as our wind speed.